Hi, I'm Nan, and welcome back to Sketchin' Yeah. Woo! First of all, Happy New Year! Yay, it's 2026. Oh my god, the passage of time is terrifying. And second, this is a subscriber special, I guess. My first subscriber special. I hit 1,000 subscribers. And so I wanted to sort of do something to celebrate, and I put out a community post asking people to submit their OCs for me to draw. And you'll note the runtime is pretty long, given that my post said I'll pick 3 randomly, and that's because I lied, because I'm mean and evil, and actually I drew everybody who submitted. So there's actually 10 OCs in this video. Yippee! The first one today is an OC by Lisa is their username on YouTube, and this is their OC Yura. I'm gonna read the little blurb that they submitted to me. I'm gonna do this for every OC just so people can understand, what the original author creator wanted to portray with them, because I think that's really important. So his name is Yura. He's a kitsune / kumiho, which is like a 9-tailed fox demon, if you aren't familiar with like East Asian folklore stuff. To summarize his backstory, he took a nap after gaining his first tail, but he's overslept for 200 years, so he's only got 1 tail. Personality-wise, he sleeps a lot, clearly. He's lazy and laid back, but he's cunning, attentive, and a bit manipulative. He really likes collecting stuff like gems, jewelry, and anything that holds meaning. So first of all, I love this guy. I love his design. I love the color palette that you chose for him. This like soft pale green for his hair color paired with like the really light purple eyes is such a good color combination choice. I really love that. I love your art style too, like looking at your sketches that you submitted, and like the second art with like the more rendered, like where he's like eating some sort of vague meat is really cool. I was really happy to see this as the first submission, because I was like, oh my god, I am like stun locked that there's so many people with like such skill watching my stupid little channel and drawing along with me. That's like awesome to me. I don't know why I'm so I'm just like, oh my god, wow. But yeah, I love his like lore, I guess, his character reasons and everything. I think it's so funny to have a character that's just like so sleepy pilled that like he slept through like his own development. And I think it's cool that he's like chill, but still, fits the tropes of being like, because I know 9-tailed foxes and stuff are usually meant to be like some sort of manipulative trickster kind of god characters and stuff usually. And so I think it's fun that even though he's got those tendencies, he's still just chill and sleepy, and he just wants, to sleep. So I chose to draw him holding his tail and sort of like yawning, like just woken up. I really liked that one sketch of him in the corner of that sketch page reference that you sent of sleeping on top of his tail. I thought that was so cute. I was like, I want to draw that. I also really love like the proportions in your work. I think it's like so like ikemen, like handsome. I'm like, oh my gosh, wow. Anyway, point being, I had a lot of fun working on this one, and it was a really good start to these OC drawings. I definitely started out with the intention to really just randomly pick 3, if I even got that many submissions, because I know I gave a really short notice for like the deadline for submissions, and so I was kind of worried I wouldn't even get 3 submissions, but I knew that if I had passed that, I was like really fully intending to only do 3. But then, the first 3 submissions were already bangers, and then I got a 4th submission that was also a banger, and I'm like, oh, how am I gonna decide? I was like, oh, I'll do randomly generated, but then I was like, well, what if I just draw everybody? Because I only ended up getting 10 submissions, and I was like, 10 is doable. I can do 10 headshots in 14 days. I can do it, no problem. It was definitely higher paced than I'm used to. But I tried to like limit the amount of time I spent on each one, and I tried to sort of keep it within like a 2-hour time frame on each piece. And so yeah, I was really happy to start off, the pack with a character design that was so like up my alley and had such a fun and nice, pleasant color scheme, and just generally seemed very chillax to draw. So thank you very much to Lisa for submitting Yura to my Drawing My OCs subscriber special thing. I'm really happy that I got the chance to draw such an awesome character, and yeah, I love him. I hope that he gets as much sleep as he so desires, and also as much dubious flesh to munch on as he desires. He's awesome. Thank you again for submitting and for subscribing to my channel. And that's 1 of 10 down. Here's the sped up version in Clip Studio Paint, so you can see it without all the flipping and rotating and zooming. And I hope that you enjoy this. I hope I did him justice. Anyway, on to the next character. Yippee! So this next OC is by V on YouTube, and this is their OC, Micah. They said he's a chill person, not very energetic, absolutely loves spending time with Remy and collecting old pocket watches. They said, I'm the kind of OC artist who doesn't give angst to my characters, so their lives are just cupcakes and rainbows with a little hint of my other interests, parentheses, horror and thriller. In short, my story is just him and his human husband, Remy, trying to find a cure for mortality so that they can live together forever. Heart. Spoiler, the cure is cannibalism. So, first of all, I'm also the type of OC artist. I'll give my OCs, like, maybe a little bit of, like, a drama in their lives, but never, like, outright angst, because I feel too guilty. I'm like, listen, I'll, like, torture you emotionally, but not with anything that would, like, actually be super dramatic. I don't know. But second, I love this character so much. I don't know. Okay. This is gonna sound bizarre. Maybe this is... I hope this is okay to say, but this man is so MILF-coded. And so, I don't know, when I was, like, drawing him, I was just kind of like, I have to, like, give him sort of an Ara-esque pose. I hope that makes sense to you. I'm sorry if that's, like, out, crossing a line with him, but I love him. I love his design. I love that he's, like, very, I don't know, so MILFy. Anyway, no, I love his design. I like that his features are, like, longer on his face. Like, I especially love his nose shape in the art that you sent me for his references. I also love his cheekbones. And I think that your little, like, the blurb of the story you described to me, I love that. I love that, like, they're happy and cheery and everything, but they still got, like, the fucked up cannibalism vibe going on in their, like, love and romance. That's, like, one of my favorite types of stories where it's, like, kind of dark and fucked up, like, thematically, but, like, everybody's happy and cool with it. I don't know. It's unrelated, but that's one of the reasons I like Dorohedoro so much. Like, there's so much messed up stuff going on in that world, but the characters are just all fun and goofy. But yeah, I really love this character. I love his design. I had some struggles with getting his face to look the way that I wanted to. This piece definitely had, like, some ugly stages in, like, the sketching phase and even the line art phase, and I kind of struggled with the mouth area especially. Yet again, my issue with drawing mouths bit me in the ass. Pun not intended. I know he's a vampire, but he's got a loving husband. So I also debated on which of the hairstyles that were in the reference to draw him with. I figured I would do the long hairstyle because I think that worked better with how I was intending to stylize him as a character. But I really like the high pony. I think that's super cute. I love the braid too. Braids are, like, I don't know, they're kind of a challenge to draw, but also not. I think they're easy to get the general shape of, but they usually, I feel like I don't ever get the base of them looking right, like where they turn into the braid from, like, the straightened hair. So I kind of avoid them, which is probably a habit I should get over, because I think braids are also really cute. But yeah, I love his, like, bang swoop, and I love his color palette. I think it's really unique to have, like, hair streaks that are like the teal color on top of, like, the purpley blue. I feel like that's a color combination that you don't normally see with, like, red and gold, but I think it really works. And yeah, it's a really nice, balanced design that I had a lot of fun drawing. I also really admire people who like take the time to draw out the accessories and stuff on their character sheets and also give like different expressions and stuff like that. I think that takes a lot of work that you don't really think about, but it really helps with imagining these objects like in 3D and being able to figure out what they would look like at different angles. So I appreciate that you have all that information there on his reference sheet. I also really like that you included the Myers-Briggs, personality summary on his ref sheet, because I think a lot of times people don't realize, but it's really important when you're having somebody else draw your character to know what the character's personality is like, because that helps you think of poses and expressions and stuff like that, because there's certain tropes associated with personalities. And even though I don't know how accurate Myers-Briggs actually is to like human psychology or anything like that, it's useful for characterization stuff. So it was very nice having that information there on the ref sheet too, to just easily like look back at and be like, okay, what would be a more fitting pose and expression for this character? But yeah, overall, like, despite my rough patches, the ugly stages that I had with this particular drawing, I eventually figured it out, and I ended up really loving it. I just love his expression. He looks very, like, polite and lovely, but also kind of unhinged, which I'm hoping is the vibe a little bit, just in the, romantic sense. I feel like their love is maybe a little bit unhinged with each other, but, like, in a positive way, like, in a healthy, positive, loving way. Anyway, thank you, V, for submitting Micah for my subscriber special, and thank you for subscribing. And I really had a fun time drawing your boy. I hope I didn't I hope I didn't sound too strange with what I was saying, but I hope you understand what I meant. And yeah, very delightful to draw. Thank you again. And now on to the next character. The third OC I'll be drawing today was submitted by avocado_circles here on YouTube, and he is Grayson. He is an evil man who will stop at nothing to accomplish his mission, one that literally no one can know about, not even his friends. He lies, fights, and coerces his way through life. On the other hand, he's a silly goober who likes a good drink and will often be a goofy guy when he has the opportunity. He loves hanging out with his family and friends, but only if he knows he won't be spotted by... someone's eyes and ears. I was very happy to receive a submission by Desiree Avocado Circles, because I know she's been like super nice to me in my comments like this whole way through. She is also a YouTuber. I highly recommend that you check out her channel and watch her videos, because she talks about her OCs a lot, and her stories and art are like really good, and I definitely highly recommend it. So Grayson here, I loved he just looks so like edgy. He looks like an edgy wet cat, and I feel like that really sort of encapsulates his story vibes. Like the idea that he's like mean and evil, but also he's actually like just a nice dude, and he has to be mean and evil for plot reasons is really awesome. I'm pretty sure I know who the someone is in the description, which I believe is another one of your OCs. The Yolanda counter. We all are aware of it. But yes, I fully went into drawing Grayson here with like the intent to make him look mean and scary, but also kind of hot. So I really love his facial features. By the way, I love that he has like stronger, like more prominent facial features with like the bolder eyebrows and like the bigger nose. I love that in characters. I think it makes them look so good and like human and real. I really appreciate that part of his design, and like the slicked back hair. That's so like evil villain coded, but like if you're LARPing as an evil villain, it made me really happy. And so I like wanted to like emphasize that, where he's like slicking back the hair. Maybe it's just me that like associates the slicked back hair with evil villain stuff. I think that makes sense, given that like one of my favorite series is Bleach, and like, Aizen with the slick back hair, and then Ginjo with the slick back, whatever. Anyway, point being, I think it works really well for his design, because it also sort of is like a character trait that can be undone, and it's like, oh, okay, maybe he's not mean and evil, actually, maybe he's doing this for reasons. But yes, I really love how you do your line work and pencil work, and the level of detail like in your sketches and stuff is really cool to me, and how human all of your characters feel. Like, I know I said that, but it's like they just feel like they could really exist in like real physical space, which I think is something that I always strive for in my own art, and I think that's really awesome that you do that. By the way, with all of these pieces, I didn't jump directly into sketching. I actually had like off canvas references that I made with like taking my pictures and then the 3D head models in Clip Studio Paint, because I wanted to make sure that I could come up with poses that were sort of characterized in ways that I thought fit each, OC. And so I was like looking closely at the information that I was given for each character and started working based off of that. So I feel like characterization and posing is really important, and I think sometimes people don't consider that, but I think it's definitely something to keep in mind when you're drawing other people's characters. Just remember like what their personalities and stuff are. But yes, point being, I didn't just like go into these raw without like any sort of thumbnailing. I thumbnailed prior, and I just had the PureRef app open in the corner. So something else I really appreciate about Grayson's design here is that you gave him like several different outfits and like mixed and matched certain articles of his clothing, which I always love when people do that. Like, it's like giving their character an actual wardrobe. I just think that's so cool. I feel like that's not something that I ever like pay attention to enough, and so I also want to like learn how to do that better. I guess I'm not particularly fashionable in real life, so I find it kind of hard to design clothes. But like, yeah, I like that he has sort of different outfits that all are similarly themed. They have the same vibes, and you could imagine, again, a real person wearing these clothes. But yeah, wrapping up here, I just wanted to say again, go subscribe to avocado_circles on YouTube. Her channel is awesome. Like, she puts so much effort into her videos. Like, it's so clear to me how much work she puts into these, and I think it would be really cool to see her subscriber count grow the way that it deserves, because she's like vastly underrated as a channel, and also she's like super nice and very engaged with like the comments and everything. So yeah, anyway, this is Grayson. Thank you again for submitting him to me to draw him. He's so pretty. Whoa. He looks scary. Yeah, I had a lot of fun drawing him. I'm gonna say that about every character. Maybe I should think of something else to say, but I really did have so much fun drawing everybody. So that's character 3 of 10, and now on to the 4th character. The 4th character I'm drawing today is Roman from Leo Butters. They said he's an OC I created for a Brazilian RPG called Ordem Paranormal. It's quite famous here. The RPG is about the paranormal, so expect very edgy stuff. He's basically a paranoid and angry paranormal investigator / occultist. He's super fixated on studying the occult, demons, ghosts, entities, deities, you name it. Maybe then he'll be less on edge about everything around him. There's definitely a very profound, angsty, edgy, traumatic, and overdone backstory for him, but for your sake, I won't be going into it. Just know that he's a very tsundere kind of guy, easy to irritate, easy to piss off, easy to scare, but deep down, he's a big softie and just wants a hug, even though he will never admit it. Oh. Also, big edgelord alert, he is one, and he's not ashamed to show it. They also let me know that one of the references that they sent me was more accurate than the others, like more accurate and up-to-date. So that's kind of the one that I worked mainly off of and kind of interpreted other details from the other reference images. I love this character design, first of all. Going back to the last OC, the thing I was saying about like characters that feel very human, like somebody you could imagine meeting in like physical space, I think that's like so cool. And the way that you draw like human anatomy and stylized people feels so real but still stylized. So love that aspect of his character design. I also love that like he fully embraces the edge in terms of like his outfit and his styling. I think that's so cool. I don't know. I love, I've said this on my own channel before, but I love edgy bullshit, especially like when it's edgy anime bullshit, but just all edgy bullshit is so fun. I think I definitely let the more realistic proportions of this character, like especially your reference art that you sent me, I think I definitely let that influence how I drew him, because I think I drew him a lot more realistically than I might have otherwise. So sorry for being so easily influenced. But yeah, I like adore your proportions and like the way that you exaggerate character features but not having them be so stylized is really cool. I also love an edgy looking but tsundere softie. Like the whole time I was drawing him, I could not stop myself from thinking, okay, so like I don't want to be like saying this just like willy-nilly, because I know sometimes people get like hurt if their characters are compared to other characters. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm not saying they look similar or act similar at all, but two of my past sort of hyperfixation characters are Mashiba Ryo from Hajime no Ippo and Jun Isashiki from Diano no Ace, my sports boys. They're like both very grumpy characters. Jun is like loud and yappy, and people call him a Spitz because he's like a little yapping dog. And then Mashiba is like the fucking Grim Reaper, basically. He's like really like a punk ass at the beginning of the series, but he gets character development and becomes like such a great, anyway, sorry, not to yet, but he reminds me of like a mixture of the two of them in a way, which is kind of bizarre to say, but I think probably like a little bit of the physicality, but then also the personality description. And so I just had such a fucking blast drawing him. It like felt like so nostalgic for me because I've drawn those two characters a bunch, and so it was like this was a great character to draw. I'm really happy, and I'm grateful that you submitted him because I had so much fucking fun. Again, saying that every time, but it's true, okay? I can't stop talking about it. I also really appreciate that you told me which of the references was most accurate, I guess. Like, sometimes characters evolve over time. You start to draw them differently, or you give them different features, like especially if like you mentioned he's an RPG character. I think that makes sense that his design would change too, given like story elements and stuff like that over time. But just knowing which of the references to like work off of when the designs are a little bit different helps a lot. So again, appreciate that. I decided to give him like a sort of like scratching his neck kind of pose, like someone's just asked him a question and like he kind of wants to be a punk ass in response with his answer, but like he's holding back from being like too mean or whatever, so just kind of like the whatever, man, like I don't fucking know kind of vibe. I don't know if that's how he actually would be, but I figured that's sort of like the grumpy tsundere but also big softy vibe, like he's putting on airs about being more annoyed than he actually is. I just thought that would be fun for him. I also wasn't sure which of the hairstyles to give him. I liked the hair down look, but you can see in the sketch that I was initially going to do like half up, because I think in the piece I was referencing it looked like it was half up, and then in some of his other reference images he had it in like a full ponytail. But again, I just went with hair down. I don't know what my deal is, because I always complain about drawing long hair and like hair down, but then I just do it every time anyway. I just feel like that's like the default setting, and I feel like it's, I don't know, better for me to do that. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, thank you for submitting Roman, and I hope that I did him justice. And on to the next character. Yippee! Oh my god, 4 down, 6 to go. Wow, I really had to do mental math there. Now, the problem with these next 6 characters is they were all email submissions, which is not a problem. I shouldn't say that. The problem is that I'm a dumbass and I forgot to specify in my initial post calling for OC submissions to give me a place to credit the characters, like what social media do you want me to credit you by? And because these are email submissions, I'm not sure if I should be sharing these people's names, so I'm going to go with initials. And for everybody that would like social media credit, please reply to me in the comments with your and your character name, and I will absolutely put that in the description. I'm really sorry. It's my bad for being a fool. I was initially just going to email back, the 3 randomly generated winners and be like, hey, but obviously since I ended up drawing everybody, I didn't want to spoil the surprise. So, yeah. This next OC was submitted by BG via email. Her name is Giselle. She's the fan child of Marnie and Gloria from the hit 2019 Pokemon game Sword and Shield. Her ace Pokemon is a Whimsicott named Connie, and they're absolutely best friends. Giselle is the oldest of 3 children. She has a younger sister named Rosaline and a younger brother, nicknamed Bean. Outside of her family, Giselle is full of joy and whimsy, but also has her heart set on money. She steals and lies when it benefits her into getting much richer. When money isn't in the picture, she'll put it in the picture. Giselle has a habit of quote-unquote collecting valuable items, a skill that often lands her in exciting and dangerous situations. Despite her rebellious nature, she has a deep love for her family and will do anything to protect those she cares about. Amazing character description. I think that's so awesome. Like, she just is out here committing crimes, but we look away because she's a child. She's just doing it for her family, or like the love of the game. That's awesome. Second, I honestly can't tell you how long it's been since I drew like a child character. I don't know how old specifically she's supposed to be, but I presume she's pretty young, like maybe single digit age or like preteen. So very out of my normal comfort zone for drawing, but it was a good exercise and like refreshing how to draw more childlike proportions. I hope I was able to, make her look pretty childlike. I think the key is always make them have like a smaller face, make most of their face on the bottom half of their face, give them bigger eyes, skinnier neck, skinnier shoulders, just make them look a little bobble-headed. Usually that works out, so I hope I was able to do that here. For her posing, I did like the Korean like eggyo like heart cheek thing for one hand and then the money sign with the other hand, because I thought it would be very in character, hopefully just like a cutesy little pose, but like, oh, okay, the money is in the picture now. Full disclosure, also, I haven't played any Pokemon games outside of the ones that were released for the DS. So like the only Pokemon games I've ever played are X and Y and Sun and Moon and Alpha Ruby and Omega, or what is it? Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. There we go. Can you tell I'm really not hip with the Pokemon? Fun fact, I actually wasn't allowed to play Pokemon growing up because my family's circumstances were such that my mom did not allow me to play most video games. That's a whole other story. But I still know of certain Pokemon. I know Whimsicott is like the little sheepy looking one. It's like little fluffy little plant guy with the Fuafua mane and like the brown body. It's so cute. Anyway, I think she fits that Pokemon well, like design-wise. I think she looks reminiscent of it, which I know is like a common thing for a lot of trainers to kind of resemble their Pokemon in ways. I'm not familiar with Marnie and Gloria as characters, but I looked them up, and I think her design works really well as like a fan-child design. She doesn't look too strongly like either one parent, which is kind of like a thing I notice. Sometimes people will make fan children and they'll just be like clones of like the two characters, but like younger, which it's fine to do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Boruto is basically that, right? But I don't know, it always strikes me as like more interesting and entertaining when people like actually put thought into like how genetics might work, rather than just making mini-me's. So yeah, overall, like I said, very different experience than my usual drawing her, but it was fun to go outside of my comfort zone for once, and I definitely need to work on my eye game. I gotta work on drawing big sparkly anime eyes some more. I'm so used to drawing them so tiny. Like these ones, I was like, wow, this is a struggle. I gotta put so much detail in them, and but yeah, I did manage to figure it out, and I'm happy that I got the chance to draw this character. I hope that someday, eventually, I'll be able to get a Switch so I can play the newer generations of Pokemon. I really like the series. I love the games. I just don't have the switch. Anyway, thank you again to BG for submitting Giselle for me to draw. And once again, thank you for subscribing. And also, feel free, please, to put any social media credit you would like for me to put in the description in a reply here. I will absolutely do so in case you want people to go peruse your Giselle works elsewhere. The next OC I'll be drawing is one submitted by JB, yet again through email. They actually submitted 2 OCs, and I picked one of them to draw, so I'm sorry to Sean Falconer, their other OC that I chose to not draw this time. But the OC that I did choose to draw is Justin Summers, who is one of their OCs from their fanfic series. They said, Justin Summers was an average teen who suffers the effects of bullying from a rich and powerful classmate. This semester, an unexpected attack on the city and his school happened and led him to becoming a superhero named Wonder Spade, which they haven't drawn his superhero design yet. They said Justin has androgynous features, he's a gymnast, and he has trauma. Don't we all, buddy? So with this one, because I was picking one of the 2 characters, I ended up picking Justin because I felt that with the other characters that I chose, I thought maybe Sean's design was like a little bit more similar proportionally to other characters I had already drawn in this, lineup, and so I went with Justin's design. I worked mainly off of the, I think that's Gacha Life. I'm sorry, I'm not hip with it. I'm not hip with what the kids are doing. I worked mainly off of what I think is a Gacha Life reference for how to draw like the characters' proportions and stuff like that. But I also looked the art that you submitted of him like doing the little, like, he has like his hands up near his face. I thought that was like a really cute pose for him, and I figured, oh, he must be like pretty shy, and like, so I wanted to give him a pose that was kind of like I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, oh my god, Kia, someone's talking to me, like, kind of thing. I tried to keep in mind the androgynous features that JB mentioned, and so I wanted to have his face especially be androgynous, but it looked like that the art in the reference that they sent me also had a relatively masculine body type, and so I wanted to keep a balance where he wasn't looking too feminine, but also wasn't looking too masculine either. I did have to riff on some of the details for like his outfit. Like the gloves, I added them because it looked like his sleeves went into more white, and so I assumed that was white on his hands, and so I was like, okay, probably gloves, he's a gymnast, I don't know. I hope it's okay that I interpreted some details on my own, because it's like hard for me to guess what kind of clothes he would wear elsewise, because I don't know too much about him, so please forgive me if it's not the most accurate. That's one of the drawbacks of working with like references that are more simplified, like Gacha Life, and like very chibified. Gaia Online, oh my god, that's a throwback. Okay, sorry, I'm telling on my age here, but my little dress up thing when I was growing up was Gaia Online, and those little tiny pixel avatars that are like 100 pixels tall. You have to like incorporate like all the details into this art. I used to like do Gaia Online commissions, and they're so detailed but so tiny, and you just have to make up a bunch of details. Anyway, getting way off track here, yapping a lot. I always admire people who make OCs with like a specific story setting in mind. I think that takes like a lot of creativity that I personally don't have. I'm not a writing guy, I say this all the time. But yeah, making characters where you have like a specific story in mind, you have plans for what the story is going to be about, you have plans for alternate designs for your characters. That's just so cool to me. I really admire that in character creation and stuff. And so I hope that you keep going with these two and develop them even more. I also saw in your email that you said you were interested in learning more about digital art, and I think that's awesome. The thing about learning digital art nowadays is that there are so many good free resources, like free drawing programs and free tutorials and free explanations on how to do things. I didn't have any of that when I transferred to learning digital art, so I highly encourage you to give it a shot if that's something that you want to do, because now is a better time than ever to learn about digital. And I think you'll be able to make some really awesome stuff, especially with seeing the reference that you sent me. Like, I can tell that you've got a lot of skill and you're working hard and practicing on like anatomy stuff. I think that's really cool. And yeah, definitely keep at it. My own personal recommendations from what I know, don't go straight into buying a program. You don't need to do that nowadays. There's like so many free options that are just as good as paid programs. So like Ibis Paint, I've heard, is pretty good, besides all the ad spam. Magma, the online like co-op, drawing board, is great. You can always go with like good old MS Paint. Even MS Paint has upgraded nowadays to be like decent at drawing. Photopea, Krita, Metabang, like there's so many options. So I would say just dive in, see what you can do and learn, and it just makes me happy to see people branching out and learning new things. So thanks again for submitting Justin to me. I hope I did him justice. No pun intended. And also thank you again for subscribing. Once again, if you would like credit to a specific social media account, please feel free to comment. I'll put that in the description for you. It's my bad that I didn't give anybody the directions to do that until way too late. But yeah, thank you again. And on to the next character. Woo! The next submission is actually by somebody who has already posted in my community tab for other reasons, so thankfully I know that I can credit them as my on YouTube. I think it's my or me, MYE. They said, "This is Yami. He's a little demon boy who clearly likes apples. I kind of imagine him being a quiet teddy bear who just wants to wander around the forest. He doesn't really have a backstory yet, just a little frowny guy that wants to be left alone." Which, yet again, don't we all? What a mood. I really like Yami's design. I think it's like very simple, but in a way that's very unique. I think you managed to add enough detail to him where he's very recognizable, but also not so much detail that it's overwhelming and like overbearing. I think that's a really hard balance to find, so I definitely commend you on your character design on him. I love his little like spider form thing too on his reference. I think that's so cute. It's just a little guy. I figured I would, draw him doing his favorite thing, which is eating apples. I love that that's like his thing. I don't know. Very simple dude, simple needs. Good for him. We should all be so lucky to know what we want that clearly in life. I really like his face too. I like that his eyes are just like the pure black. I think it works really well with the pure black hair, the pure black horns, the black tattoos. I think overall you did a really great job with balancing the details where you did, but then not making him complicated at all. Again, very difficult skill. I think people underestimate how difficult it is to make like a nicely designed but simple character. There's a lot that goes in there. It's very deceptive designing characters with simple designs, because you have to keep in mind like silhouette and like recognizable attributes and things that can like transfer over from their design to like things within their world that might be compatible and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm dorking out. But point being, I really like this character design. I think you did an excellent job. I also love just the way he looks in general. I like that he's got the really deadpan look. Very good encapsulation of his whole personality, which is just leave me the fuck alone. Let me eat this apple in peace, damn it. I'm curious to know like what his circumstances would be, like what he does on the daily besides eat apples and like wander around. He just seems like an interesting dude. He's just some guy, but like a demon. I figured I'd draw him about to take a bite of an apple because like, yeah, obviously like it's like the obvious choice if I'm gonna draw a headshot. I've also said this before on my channel, but when drawing headshots, I don't know if you've noticed, but thus far I've included at least one hand in each of my headshots. And I think I tend to do that because to me, hands are such a crucial part of character acting and characterization. And I think they add so much to headshots. And I think people kind of miss out on that when they only draw just like the headshot and bust. Obviously, you can have them making an expression, posing in a certain way with just their head and face. But for me personally, to make the, I don't know, character feel more like themselves, I like to include the hand, just because it's like, again, good character acting. Like, the hand is a character in and of itself that can really tell you a lot about who you're drawing. Obviously in terms of like size, but mostly like posing. Like, yeah, he's eating an apple, or like another character scratching their neck, or like pushing their hair back, or doing the money sign. You know, like, it's just I think it elevates when you're drawing someone else's character, and you've been given like a list of personality traits. Coming up with a pose that would fit that personality is a lot easier when you can involve a hand. I kind of learned that from doing commissions and stuff. I've definitely had many situation where a client would give me like their character's looks, they'd give me the visible reference, but then they don't really describe the personality for me, and then I really struggle to like come up with any sort of pose. They'll just be like, yeah, I'll leave it to you, and it's like, can you give me like their vibes, because I don't want to draw them like super happy smiling when they're like depressed and emo, right? Sometimes you can't tell that when all they have is a flat emotion reference sheet. And so yeah, when I'm given a personality, I like try extra hard to like make the pose fit what I believe they might do. Maybe I do overkill sometimes, like here giving him an apple that's like so it's admittedly really on the nose in this case. But you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, like, especially for characters that are more simple in design, really pushing the personality aspect of capturing them is important to me. I'm kind of a stickler for it. I get really lost when I'm expected to draw a character with no hint of their personality. So. Yeah, your art is really cool. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, sorry. Your art is really cool. I love the sketchy sort of look of your lines. I love how naturalistic the poses are. And yeah, thank you for submitting Yami to me. May he enjoy his apples forever. And also thank you for subscribing. Oh my god, 7 down, 3 more to go. Oh, we're reaching the final hurdles. I've been recording for so long, my stomach's growling so bad. This apple is making me hungry. It doesn't even look good, but I'm hungry anyway! The next character I'll be drawing is Hitaki by Florblorb. Florblorb submitted a couple of characters for me to pick from, and I picked Hitaki because, full disclosure, me and Hitaki have a history, aka Florblorb and I have followed each other on Toy House for a while, and they submitted art of him in a maid dress. It was the first art I've ever commented directly on Toy House, because I was like, oh my god. Anyway, so Florblorb says about Hitaki, pyromaniac. He likes to set fire to everything and everyone, and doesn't really care about the consequences because there are none usually. Due to the circumstances from which he was reborn, he's constantly freezing cold inside. The last time he felt a warmth good enough for him was when he lit a fire of his own to liberate himself. The joy, paired with the impending freedom, reached deep into his heart, but since then he only feels cold. He's always looking for warmth, but no fire has yet been good enough. He starts random fires to feel warm. He's very flirty and acts very full of himself. He has a cheeky, mischievous, and cocky personality. He loves to destroy things. I adore this type of character. It's a very specific kind of character archetype, and again, forgive me for making comparisons. I promise I'm not saying anything about like, oh, you took this idea or anything like that. It's literally just me making connections in my brain to media that I enjoy. So, but he reminds me, personality-wise, of Pariston Hill from Hunter x Hunter, in that Pariston is like a character that he's just so bizarre. It's hard to put a finger on him because he's so like shady. He's always smiley, always happy, always polite, but he's definitely doing some shady shit in the background. Never like cares. He's like a sociopath. He's just, and he loves to, like, the way that he shows affection is by breaking things. He's like, oh, if I love something, I want to destroy it. Like, he said that in canon. Anyway, Hitaki gives me those kind of vibes. Especially, like, he just looks like he'll start sparkling at any second, and I love that for him. So I absolutely had to draw him in this sort of, like, you know, oh, who, me? Little old me type of pose. I will say, I don't know what my issue was, but I struggled so hard with his hair. It looks like it should be easy, given the other type of hair I draw. This is usually like my bread and butter type hairstyle. Like, I draw this kind of shaggy anime boy hair all the time, but for some reason I was suffering in the sketching phase. I did manage to figure it out, sort of cross-referenced all of the reference art that I was given, and tried to make it fit. Yet again, something to do with like the simpler character designs, I guess. It's just hard to get it more accurate when you're drawing a simple design, because you have limited options for how you're going to stylize certain stuff. It's just really funny because, like, out of all of the art I drew, the one that I thought was going to be the easiest for me because it's so in line with the stuff that I normally draw, ended up taking me the longest. This piece took me more than 3 hours, while the rest of them all took like anywhere from like an hour and 40 minutes to 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't know what was wrong with me, but thankfully figured it out. But yes, I love Hitaki. I would die for Hitaki. He'd probably want me to die, honestly. Good for him, honestly. Characters that are just weird little freaks that have all of these hang-ups, and like, you hate them, but you kind of love to hate them. Like, he seems like that type, like, just so annoying. Like, I want to throw him at a wall, like a milk-soaked Wedkin, but like, he's so pretty, so it's okay. I also like that his clothes never stay the same because he just burns them. I just think that's a really good creative idea, and gives you an excuse and a reason to just draw him and whatever every time you draw him. Again, I have that with Suwa, where I'm like, yeah, his clothes just change all the time because he likes fashion, and it's just, I don't know, fun. But yeah, I was very happy to be able to draw Hitaki because, again, like I mentioned, I have that history where Floorborb and I were subscribed to each other on Toy House, and I saw they submitted that art of him in the maid dress, which I have in like the reference window, that you can keep catching glimpses of. It's just so good. It's like, it's so peak. I like saw it, my jaw dropped. I like their hatching, like their line work on everything is like so awesome and god tier. And then to top it off with like him being in a maid dress. I love maid dresses. I just love, it's fine. I'm normal. I'm fine. I'm normal. With this one, because I fucking sucked and struggled so much, I decided to switch up how I was going about the shading, and I sort of limited the areas with which I was shading instead of doing it all like on one pass. I did it over the hair areas, deleted it off the skin, then did the skin areas, deleted off the hair, and that made it a lot easier so I didn't suffer even more during the shading process, because I was like, I don't know why it took me so long. I was just off my game, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe I was like so convinced that I would be able to do it easily that I got overconfident. But anyway, thank you, Floorborb, for submitting Hitaki, as well as your other OCs. I love your other OCs too. But I picked him because we have a history, okay? Nothing can come between it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, thanks again for submitting him, and thanks for subscribing. And also thanks for liking my art even before I was on YouTube. Okay, anyway, yay! Next character! This 9th OC belongs to Starfish Doodles here on YouTube. I was sent this via email. This is their character Ryusei, aka I. They said, "This is my son, my pink boyo Ryusei Aoto, or simply I, as I call him. He's a fallen angel who actually used to be a Cupid, but now works as a history teacher in the Hellscape. Everyone I've shown him to have thoroughly enjoyed him, maybe a bit too much, lol." Well, you can count me in on that, everybody, because I love this guy. I love scruffy older men, especially when they were like teachers. Okay, I have like a thing. It's like a pattern for me where a bunch of my favorite characters are like this. Like Jiro from Idolmaster Side M, like Coach Kadoka from Daido Ace, like Like Coach Nakazawa from Days, like fucking Aizawa from My Hero Academia. You know the type. Anyway, I love scruffy older men, and his design specifically, like Ai's design. I'm calling him Ai because that's easier for me to say than Ryusei every time. But I love Ai's design because the pink, first of all, is so peak. Pink is actually one of my favorite colors. You wouldn't know that because I use blue for everything, but yes, pink is one of my favorite colors. But then also, I really love his like very anime-esque hair. Something about characters that have like the very spiky anime-esque hair always does something for me. I don't know. It's like I. I also like that he has like the bigger, bolder eyebrows, and like the scruff on his face also includes a mustache. Kind of bothers me when people only do like the chin scruff when they're drawing anime men. Like include the stash, okay? Don't be stingy. I also really like your proportions, specifically with how you draw anatomy. I like that you draw like the more square, like wider set jaw for him. I think that's really good. I think it makes him look more mature, which he should if he's like a teacher. Now, the one thing I chose to do was, I know you sent me 3 different references. I went with the one that was labeled like new style. I went with that one for the like color palette. But then I went with this mirror one for the overall look because his horn and halo were not in the same place in the style one. I wasn't sure which one was like the most up-to-date reference, but I went with this one for the outfit and then the other one for the color palette. But yes, from the reference images that you sent, he seemed like maybe he's like a little bit sort of like, I don't know about shy necessarily, but maybe like a little bit nervous, a little bit apprehensive and stuff. So I just had him like scratching his cheek, just being like, oh, I don't know, kind of vibes. And I gave him the outfit from this mirror selfie. He looks so like handsome, dapper, like ready for his first day of work or whatever. I also really like that he's a fallen Cupid. Like, I feel like you hear about fallen angels all the time, but you don't hear specifically about like fallen like cherubs and cupids and stuff like that. I thought that was a neat little idea. Like, what's like what kind of chaos was he causing that? I'm so curious to know what got him kicked out of like heaven or whatever. Now he's teaching in hell. But yeah, you wouldn't know it with like the OCs I've drawn on this channel, but one of my favorite things to draw is actually like older men. So being given an older, like scruffier man character to draw just made me so happy. I was like, yes, I'm winning so hard. So, yeah, like I said, count me among the people that see him and like him a little too much. You did good with his design here. I like him. Also, again, his color palette, so peak. Working with pink made me really happy. It really is one of my favorite colors, and it makes me especially happy that, like, this is like a scruffy old man with the pink color palette. I feel like sometimes people are, like reserve pink for younger characters, especially young feminine characters, and it's like, no, anybody can be pink. Pink is anybody's color, okay? And, like, being able to see it on an older male character made me very happy and brought me a lot of joy. Working on him was such a pleasant experience. The one thing that does bum me out a little bit is that because I wanted to include his horn and halo, the reason I went with this design, by the way, over the new style design was because I wanted more interest on like the bust area. So like, he's got the turtleneck and the jacket as opposed to just a sweater. But because I wanted to include that horn and halo, I had to make him a bit smaller than all the other headshots, and so he doesn't line up as perfectly with everybody else, but I think it's okay. I mean, there's some of them that are a little bit out of proportion in general too, so it's whatever. No, it's fine. I'm not bothered by it not being perfect. Overall, great character to sort of come to the finish line with, the penultimate, if you will. So thank you again to Starfish Doodles for subscribing and for submitting Ai for me to draw. Old man love. This means that I have one more OC to draw. I'm so excited. Final stretch here. It's the final countdown or whatever. Oh, I'm so tired. My voice hurts. Okay. On to the final OC. The final OC of the video was submitted by M. Sorry again for dropping the ball and making sure that everybody gave me where to credit them, but if you have a specific name you want me to credit you by or a social media account where you want me to link, please let me know in the comments. So they said, "This is Kate. She is one of my OCs and she has brown skin and black hair, and the hair is kind of curly, and she has a pink shirt that has a dragon on it, and she has black leggings, and she has blue eyes, and her lips are kind of light rose colored." And I think that's it. So thank you for submitting Kate to me. I was kind of curious on what kind of pose I should give her since I wasn't really given a personality description, but I figured she's kind of posing like a little bit casually in the image that you sent as a reference, and so I just have her casually waving like hi, or I guess bye, since she's the last character of the video. Yeah, looking at the reference image I was sent of Kate and the description I was given of her, I had to do a little bit of like interpretation for how I might draw certain details and stuff, so I hope I was able to capture her okay. I'm curious to know about what her story is. I know she has the shirt with the dragon on it. I wonder if maybe she's like a dragon tamer of some sort. She's in the reference image, she's standing out like in a grassy field over like under a blue sky. So maybe she's like out in a field looking up at a dragon flying around. I don't know. I don't know anything. I also wasn't sure of her age, and so I hope I didn't draw her looking too young or too old. I kind of just drew her as like maybe a teenager, given her fashion style is like leggings and a shirt, instead of like anything more matronly or, you know, that might signify that she's like an older adult. So I hope that's okay too. Again, lots left up to interpretation here for me, but that's kind of fun, you know, in a way, especially as the last drawing of the set, because I was paying such close attention to the other references for the rest of them that I got a little bit tired out, and so this one gave me a chance to sort of be a little bit more creative, and I was happy about that. I also haven't drawn curly hair in a while, especially longer curly hair. Since the description said kinda curly, I didn't want to do anything that was like too tight of curls, but I also didn't want to make it just wavy because I feel like there's a pretty big difference between curly and wavy. So I was kind of trying to go for like somewhere in between like a 2C and a 3A. I'm not sure how well I did. Like I said, it's been a while since I've drawn curly hair. Maybe something I should focus on practicing among my myriad list of other things I need to practice. Okay, need is a strong word. I don't need to practice, but I would like to practice because it would be really convenient for me to be able to draw different textures of hair a lot faster. But yeah, I just wanted to take the time to say again, thank you for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. It's still unbelievable. It's like, what the fuck? What? Like, huh? Who? Me? 1,000? I had mentioned in my previous video that I was planning to do this special, but I hadn't hit 1,000 subscribers yet, and I'm not gonna lie, like a huge part of me was really, really worried that like I wouldn't hit it and like I'd be left with egg on my face just looking like a fool because, I don't know, I got too big for my britches, got all cocky, but thankfully I did hit it in time, and I was really relieved and also just really overwhelmed to think that I reached this milestone thanks to you guys, and it just, yeah. I also wanted to say thank you again to Rin Spirit Arts for shouting me out in one of her sketch videos. I was just listening and drawing along, like, and suddenly she brought up my channel and said really nice things, and I was like, whoa, oh my god, jump scare. So thank you again for that. That like made my Christmas. Anyway, yeah, lots of, I don't know, thank yous and gratitude all around. I'm really grateful, and I hope if you were drawing along while watching, you ended up having fun with what you were working on. If you completed something that you want to show me, feel free to post it in my community tab. I would love to see it. It makes me so happy seeing the stuff that you guys make, and I just am really honored that you're here. If you made it this far, oh my god, you're a champion, because I barely made it this far, and it's my damn video, so this was more yapping than ever before. I've reached terminal yap-locity, you know, here. But yeah, that's about it for today, man. Thank you to everybody who submitted their OCs. You all are so creative. I am still awed at the fact that you're watching my channel to like draw along with, or like some of you even said that I inspired you, which is crazy because what do you mean? Like you're so much better than me. But I really appreciate it, and yeah, thanks again for submitting your essays. Like it really does mean a lot to me. I know people might be like, oh, it's, you know, no skin off my nose, you're the one drawing it, but like I was really worried I wouldn't get any submissions at all, you know? So thanks for not leaving me in the lurch, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day, and thanks again for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next Sketch and Yap. Bye-bye! Oh yeah, also, I'm never drawing headshots ever again. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of headshots. I'm so tired of drawing headshots. But thank you for giving me the chance to draw them. I did it. Yippee!